whichever part of the world you are joining us from. The Global Council for the Promotion of International Trade is proud to host this global celebration of World MSME Day 2021. We have more than 35 speakers joining us today from more than 25 countries. We are really honored and grateful to all of you for accepting our invitation and joining us today. On behalf of GCPIT, I welcome you all to this wonderful evening. I'm Aparna G. Kumar, the Global Co-Chairperson of GCPIT and your host for this evening. To quote Henry Ford, coming together is a beginning, staying together is progress, and working together is success. And we believe this is just a beginning, and this will be a beautiful lifelong relationship between all of us, and we will be working together for supporting SMEs across the globe and thereby creating a sustainable change in the society. As we all know, the United Nations General Assembly designated 27th June as Micro, Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises Day in order to recognize the contribution that MSMEs have made to the implementation of Agenda 2030 and the Sustainable Development Goals. Micro, small and medium-sized enterprises or MSMEs account for 90% of businesses, 60 to 70% of employment and 50% of GDP worldwide. Today, on MSME Day 2021, almost 18 months after the onset of COVID-19 crisis, most countries are still grappling with the pandemic and its severe health and socio-economic impacts, including lockdowns and the need to support those who have lost their jobs and livelihoods. Though at first it was a health crisis, it had unprecedented and serious impacts on all of the aspects of how people communicate, work, produce, trade, consume, and live. The economic ramifications of the pandemic quickly became apparent, and SMEs have been on the front lines. With workers and customers staying indoors and supply chains tested by shutdowns, the small companies that provide 70% of the jobs in countries around the world and about half of economic activity have been put under stress. A COVID-19 business impact survey done by ITC clearly tells us how the pandemic has affected the small and medium enterprises. Analysis of this data shows that the pandemic has strongly affected 55% of their respondents. Nearly 2/3 of micro and small firms reported that the crisis strongly affected their business operations compared with about 40% of large companies. 1/5 of SMEs said that they risked shutting down permanently within 3 months. Service companies have been the hardest hit around the world. In accommodation and food services, for instance, 76% of the surveyed firms said that partial and full lockdown strongly affected their business operations. 64 of women-led firms declared that the business operations were strongly affected, and youth-led enterprises reported a high risk of closing. About 26% of youth-led firms said they risked shutting down permanently within 3 months, compared to 18% for non-youth-led businesses. Many companies that are not registered with national authorities are small and have little cash on hand to finance themselves whenever operations are shut down. The survey also found that informal enterprises are 25% more likely to say that the pandemic is pushing them towards bankruptcy. All these data shows that as business support organizations, we have a key role to play. The reason for all of us coming together is to cooperate to create growth opportunities for companies, competitive advantage for a country, and help deliver economic, social, and environmental objectives. Businesses working together can reduce costs through shared procurement, create economies of scale, and access new opportunities by sharing knowledge and resources. As business support organizations, we all can benefit from each other's knowledge, convening power, and our credibility to represent micro and small businesses and make their needs known to policymakers and funders. In the last 18 months, the whole world shifted into digital platforms, and teleworking, remote learning, teleconferencing, online health services, e-commerce, and digital payments, all these taught us that digital facilities will no longer be optional. As we are opening to the new world that has been reshaped by the pandemic, we all have to adapt to the new normal, a new normal of building and fostering resilience, digital transformation, inclusiveness, and sustainability. On the 75th anniversary of the United Nations and 5th anniversary of the adoption of the SDGs or the 2030 Agenda, which includes 17 global goals and features 169 related targets that aim to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure prosperity for all, let us make a promise to ourselves. We all have come together today. Let us all work towards creating possibilities, a world where no one is left behind. As Nelson Mandela said, it always seems impossible until it is done. Let's together create the change we wish to see in this world. Thank you so much for joining us today. So on this auspicious day, we are proud to have India's #1 business news channel, owned and operated by the Times Network, ETNow, as our media partner. As they salute India's SMEs and MSMEs and startups who showed resilience during the crisis, we are proud to join hands with them. Let us watch a short video.
Leaders of Tomorrow, India's longest and most definitive television platform for SMEs and startups. Pioneering and nurturing their dreams into reality and recognizing true leaders who fuel momentum. Leaders of Tomorrow Awards and Conclave is back in Season 9. To salute India's SMEs, MSMEs and startups across industries and sectors who not only survived but saw revival and thrived during the pandemic. Have you shown resilience during this crisis? Have you innovated against all odds? Nominate yourself and win the chance to be felicitated at Leaders of Tomorrow's illustrious awards. Register yourself now. Entries open. Presented by IDFC First Bank.
That is amazing work. Thank you so much for joining us and supporting us in this mission. Ms. Jana, are you there?
Hi, yes, my network is a bit slow. Give me a few seconds, please.
Yes, by the time I'll give you a wonderful intro. Ms. Jana, again, Sami is the chairperson W Combinator GCPIT Malaysia. And W Combinator is our women's wing of GCPIT. And she is an international certified professional qualified in image, styling, and personal growth. Over a decade in corporate world under marketing, learning, and development, Jana has evolved to focus on changing lives through the creation of image, training, and consultancy. Through her consulting experience as a strategic thinker, she has recognized the importance of image and personal branding in bringing individuals to the next level in their personal growth. Over to you, Jana. I hope you're okay. I don't know what else happening today. I think many of us has network issues.
No problem. So I'll just share my screen.
Yes, Jana.
Okay.
Yes, now we are able to.
Okay. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, since we are from different continents. So when talking about Malaysia, there's a lot of different issues has been happening, and we are still in full lockdown for the past more than a month, and it's going to be extended till July, mid of July. So if you look at the Malaysian economic, okay, 2020 was actually expected to be a booming economy because of the Visit Malaysia 2020 campaign. But however, the pandemic has affected, of course, globally, and different initiative and campaign has been taken in order to promote different activities. So if you look at the government and for different kind of businesses, and they are actually focusing more on digital transformation. So right now, with a lot of business being closed, there's a lot of restriction in comes to social activities. Has actually affected domestic economy drastically. And SMEs, definitely, they have been really struggling to cope with the operational. They've been very stressful. If you look at the training industry, most people are struggling, but many have actually moved to digital. So if they're able to move to digital, then you can see there is be able to cope within the current economy. And also, if you look at the Malaysian economy, it has dropped by 5.6%, and this has been the worst since the financial crisis. And the mobile restriction has actually caused a ban of travel within district and also within the state, and this has actually affected more on the external demand. So if you look at the different surveys which has been done by IMF, or Asian development. Of course, there are different unforeseen challenges in this current pandemic, but the growth of Malaysia is being expected to grow and bounce back this year. From the second quarter onwards, as outlined by these different agencies. So SMEs have been projected to improve in 2020, and the main is using the digital transformation. So that's the only key to, if you want to witness a change in the current economy. And based on the navigation of business to the new norm, based on the post-pandemic reality, SMEs have to further their business enhancement, which include implementing or embedding new digital technologies in their business model, which has been proven to raise the productivity as well as the efficiency. And the second factor they have to look at is improving the human resource skill and capabilities. There are many courses have been actually offered by the government or the semi-private agencies to upskill the employees, whether they are still employed or they are retrenched or they are jobless. And of course, this will strengthen their cash flow position in the industry, or whether when it comes to individual or personal. And so there have been different contingency plans being addressed by the government, and they want to see how they can help the SMEs for business continuity to come out of the shock of this pandemic and to sustain in 2021 and continue progress in 2022. And many studies have actually been done in Malaysia, and they've seen the Malaysians are being very optimistic actually to continuously take a proactive measure to how they can sustain in the industry. And they also prepare if there's any economic turnaround, because for example, now the MCO is until mid of July, but we don't know what's going to happen after July. The cases have not dropped, and globally economy has been affected. So having a contingency plan for business continuity is very important. And also survey has indicated 21% of businesses have totally moved to online presence. These have actually kept the cash operations online continuing existing, and they're able to survive in the industry. Also for SMEs to gain their stability, they have to adopt or resolve how are they going to venture in terms of digital business, what are the new initiatives they're going to take, and how much investment they're actually looking at. So the government have also given a lot of initiative for the SMEs or for individuals to move online, and they provide a lot of fund, a lot of grant, which we believe the SMEs should take advantage of this benefit from the government. So we definitely look at digital transformation is a new way for improvement currently in Malaysia. All right. So is there any questions for me?
Jana, I think we'll take the questions offline. You can introduce the speakers and let's go ahead.
Okay. All right. So
you can close the presentation.
Sure. All right. Thank you, Aparna. Okay, so I would like to invite the next speaker from Asia Pacific, Mr. Nawaz Rajbudin. He's the founder president of COSME and the head of UNIDO in Sri Lanka, and an ambassador for the World Union of Small and Medium Enterprises based in San Marino. Over to you, Mr. Nawaz.
Thank you very much. I am honored to participate in this special event for International World MSME Day. I just give you a brief of my COSME introduction and how the MSMEs are working in this part of the world. We are a group of past presidents of Chambers of Commerce and Industry. We formed an organization, Confederation of Micro and Small Industry. We call it COSME, to support the micro and small sector in the region. We cannot depend all the time with the public sector or the government sector, as the private sector has to play a very pivotal role in supporting the MSMEs. We have 25 districts in our country, and we have over 1 million MSMEs spread out. Of an additional of 500,000 MSMEs are informal, a majority of them are women entrepreneurs. So we came forward to see how best we could revive and restructure these institutions. We got special advisors with no extra cost to support them. So we have 25 regional and district chambers, and they look after the districts and region, and we will identify a micro small sector. As you are aware, for the last 1.5 years, all the micro and small sectors are closed. 70% of them cannot even exist. So we came forward with the support of the government. A special funding was organized at a very special rate. And we thought we had to revive them and see how best we could support. What is more important, over the last 6 months, most of the people are laid off or lost their job. We are in total lockdown. People are broken down. So what we did, we supported the women entrepreneurs. As you know, women are very great. And they started their product because they don't have to pay any rental or anything. They started distributing their product. They manufacture food provisions, and we have proudly, we can say we have over 5,000 women entrepreneurs registered with us, and they are all doing extremely well. And thanks, the husbands are very happy because they have lost their job. The women are supporting them now. So we also support these people for formalizing their institutions. Most of them don't like to register and formalize it. Register the institution where we can get special government MSME funds. You know, most of the MSMEs suffer because of no banking support. And as you know, our exports have dropped. Our tourism market has crashed. When tourism market is crashed, all the restaurants are closed, and we are locked down for the last so many months. And now we just open after 1 month. So this is one of the reasons we thought we will support them. We are all doing as an honorary job. My 15-member team is doing honorary job. So see how best we could revive the younger generation and bring them back to business. So we have a special unit called Back to Business program, and we register all of them. We also have representatives in the regional chambers to look after them and see how best we could do this. And we don't have a database of industries, even in the government sector, only on information they have. So we are trying to build a sector and showcase their products. What they manufacture has to be showcased. When they showcase, the service sector can play an important role, because service sector, a significant growth in the service sector are expected. Earnings from ICT services from abroad are likely to increase, and there have been recovery of this. So we have one position that they are already, we are on the run. Back to Business program is there. We have to get a government support. So these people are reluctant to go because they have nothing, but we are facilitating all these sectors. So now research and development is also one line we were thinking, because most of the people, in one person in the regional sector start manufacturing a particular product, there are half a dozen people are manufacturing the same product, and as a result, nobody can sell anything. So now we are giving value addition for most of the items. Now see, for example, we have tea for value addition, we have cinnamon for value addition, we have rubber for value addition, we have a coconut for value addition. So we are now training these people to do this product and sell within the country before we can go to export, because for them it is survival now. So now large number of delivery system has taken place. Now people who have lost their job, they're all in the form of delivery, and they are also making more money than what they made in an office earlier. So that's also, so we gave them an idea, take COVID as an opportunity to recover. COVID as an opportunity because our apparel sector has closed down. So they went into new system, making masks, making external clothing. So how best you link so that if you don't have a product, you go to a new product and see how best we could. So this is one of the greatest things that we thought we will do. As you know, Sri Lanka mostly depend on exports. Our major items are tea, rubber, and coconut. The tea industry, there are so many thousand people depending on the tea export because most of them are working in the region, in the hill station. And rubber, value addition for rubber. Coconut industry is also in a different, because they have no exports whatsoever. So we can't manufacture everything and consume in the country. So we are planning to see how best we could introduce them to the Export Development Board. Another thing they cannot export was they don't have a standard. Now, no country will import any product without a certificate. So that we have organized the Sri Lanka Standard Institution, it's a public sector, through COSME, that's our institution, so that we bring them for a lecture and we'll tell them exactly what they have to do. Even if there are some expenses, we will see how best we could support them through the bank or some entrepreneurs who are prepared to do this. So these are the basic things that we have. And I'm very proud and happy to see how the women entrepreneurs started their product and they are growing every day. This is very important. So now most of our imports are clamped because we also need lots of funds because most of the people who work abroad have come back that they are foreign country and exports have dropped, our apparels have dropped. So we need foreign exchange to do all this, especially fertilizers for the plantation sector. So we are thinking how best we could organize the sectors properly. So these are a few things that we have. And as I heard previous speakers, Dubai, UAE is a very good marketing place for showcasing the product. And we can also go through our Export Development Board. They will fund them for their export, showcasing their product. In the meantime, COSME, immediately after this problem solved, the epidemic, pandemic has come to a thing, we will, district by district, we will showcase their product and bring them back into the center and give them proper packaging, give them packaging, and they also need branding. Without branding, you can't export product. The brand is the most essential thing. Branding brings you 20% more than the product range. So these are few of those things that we have decided as Confederation of the Micro and Small Industry. We thought this is, we have to do this because this is our region, and the Central Bank of Sri Lanka has supported most of them. All those repayment that most of the micro and small sector who has borrowed money, if you don't pay them, they will be in the crib. So that means they can't borrow any more money. Government has given moratorium for 6 months, then further 6 months, so that they will not have to pay all this money, and that will be frozen. The new funding will take place so that the balance money that is have to pay on an installment over a period of 2 years or 3 years. So this is a very good thing, because if you don't support MSMEs, there will be more than 60% of the people will be unemployed, and our unemployment figure will go up. And this will be a big problem to the government and the people. So we have to see how best we could revive and restructure these people. And this is one of the reasons we have. And also, I was very keen that we should go to our neighboring states to get their support, and especially some of the products that they are manufacturing. we can have a subcontracting partnership because we have rubber, we have tea, value addition. We can also, small organization can move into a big organization on a subcontracting partnership. So that will be great for us so that we don't have to find a market, because the big companies can sign an agreement to manufacture whatever their requirement on, say, for example, their product, on their brand name and packaging and whatever it is. So this will be fantastic. So this was one of the reasons we thought we will support them. I'm always there to support the micro and small sector here. I must thank SISME, who has played a very important role in my organization to support us. And I must also thank other members of the team, especially GCPIT and other organizations, for bringing us here and to give our view. Thank you very much. And I hope we'll have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, Nawaz sir. Jana, I think we need to control the time a little bit. Because we have 15 more minutes for the Asia section left.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Nawaz. Okay, so for the next, we have Ms. Sharnalata Roy. She is the owner of the Women's Fashion World, the founder, president of Chalet Women Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and the president of Community Development Society. She's also a chairman in FPCCI Standing Committee relating to Ministry of Women and Children Affairs. And she's also a general member of SME Foundation. Over to you, Sharnalata.
Thank you. Good afternoon, distinguished guests and speaker and participants. Warm greetings from Select Women Chamber of Commerce in the Industry and Bangladesh. I'm Sharnalata Roy and proud as an SME entrepreneur to celebrate World MSME Day 2021, and also very much glad to be a part of this program. We know small and medium enterprises are considered as blood of an economy. SMEs play a key role in national economics around the world, generating employment and value added and contributing to innovation. SMEs are central to the efforts to achieve environment sustainability and more inclusive growth. 80% of this business organization of Bangladesh are SME that comprise 5.49% of the total workforce. SMEs are responsible for significant economic viability and contribution to a country's GDP. For the reason they are recognized as the key driver of speeding up the world's economy and introducing industrialization on a large scale. The SMEs are also remarked as the engine of growth and advancement of an emerging economy. Now there are about 79 lakh SME entrepreneurs in Bangladesh. The history of the small and medium entrepreneurs in Bangladesh is antique. In the ancient age, Bangladesh was rich in different small and cottage industries like jamdani, garments, light engineering, jute products making, service sector. Nowadays, women are involved in event management, IT sector, as well as trade and commerce. Around 25% of the employment is created by this sector. Currently, the wave of SMEs has touched upon the rural economy, and SMEs are emerging as a potential sector in rural Bangladesh. SME is particularly suitable for density populated countries like Bangladesh, where the SME sector can provide employment with much lower investment. Like Sylhet is specially renowned for Manipuri tat and tourism. Rangpur, Tangal is best for tat shari, carpet, etc. Every district special for varieties branding, where SME contribution is 90%. Sylhet Women Chamber also work for women entrepreneurs, like organizing fair, provide training, also bridging with financial institution. The government of Bangladesh has taken and implemented lots of policies, like to develop new entrepreneurs by facilitating training, finance through SME Foundation, all the trade bodies in Bangladesh, Juba Unnayan, Mahila Daptar, and non-governmental organization also help them access to market, access to finance, access to information. Nowadays, agriculture is a booming sector in Bangladesh. I think you all are happy to know SME in Bangladesh is shining bright as they are producing standard products like leather products, processed food, etc. They are ready for being exported in international market. Now 28 high-tech park in Bangladesh, which help the new entrepreneur to find out their IT sector to fulfill their vision. I believe it is the right time to work together globally without any barriers. In this current pandemic situation, Bangladesh government is supporting SMEs in accessing trade finance that is very significant positive impact in our country. Thank you, Mr. Santoshji, Global Chairperson of Global Council for Cluster Excellence and Research, for inviting me in this program, and also my heartiest thanks for Asiya Nila and her team, Director General, Global Council of Bangladesh Part. Thank you all for being with me. Have a good day and stay safe. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Shanalata. Let's move on to our next speaker. Okay, we have Sang Ho Win. He is the Executive Director of Korea-India Software Cooperation Center, a branch of National IT Industry Promotion Agency, a non-profit and partner of Ministry of Science and ICT Korean government. Over to you, Mr. Sang.
Yep. Thank you for inviting me. I will share the slide together. Thank you. I'm deeply honored to be a part of this event today. I'm going to talk about two topics. The first, I introduce the new Southern policy of the South Korea government, and then I will share my personal opinion about the future of the SMEs sectors in Asia Pacific. Let's move on to next. Do you know why the South Korean government believe the business potential of India and the Southern Asia? The first, I think, the country's massive youth population has been positioned as a great demographic dividend, a view that links the potential workforce to great economic benefits. The South Korea wants to capitalize on this potential and seize immense capabilities in the country. Like this, the Southern Asia is dynamic region. Second, the high economic growth rate, which means that they have amazing economic potential powers in this area. The OECD said the Southern Asian consumers projected to make up 59% of the global middle class consumption by 2030. And then the South Korea has exchanged with India and ASEAN countries in various fields, especially in India and Asian countries are very important trading partners of South Korea. These data are a little bit out of date, but it would be grow much more if we can overcome this pandemic crisis well. We must grow even more than before. What I'm basically saying is the Asia Pacific countries are growing rapidly and advancing the near future. And with the starting of the Moon Jae-in government 4 years ago, the new Southern policy was established and then in the process of being implemented. One of the new Southern policy initiatives, especially, we have tried to collaborate globally with the ICT sectors such as AI, machine learning, and VR, AR, and digital healthcare, etc. But since the pandemic last year, the collaboration among SME players across the Asia Pacific region has weakened. However, things are looking up now with the widespread vaccine rollout across the nation and stronger herd immunity. As such, the partnership between SMEs players have slowly started to resume. Finally, I would like to suggest some direction for the development and the future of SMEs. First of all, we need to promote the trade and the investment between the Asia Pacific countries in the mutually beneficial ways. And the second, in order to survive in a fierce competitive environment, each companies has to strengthen, collaborate among SMEs in the era of the modern digital revolutions. The last, to increase the survival rate of startups, it is necessary to create and expand various partners that could create business synergies. In particular, like standardization of collaboration method is also required to expanding global partnership. That's all. Thank you for all. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Sang.
Yep.
All right. So due to time, let's move on to our next speaker. We have Mr. Mahmood Ali. Okay. He's the Managing Director of Business Development Services Limited, assisting business development and sustainability of entrepreneurs through investment and operating advising. He also promotes new ideas, new entrepreneurs, and renovation of present capacity to excel as well as sustain in the field of entrepreneurship world. Over to you, Mr. Mahmood.
Thank you very much. Good evening. Me is Mahmood Ali, Director of Business and Development Services Limited. Actually, we are working to improve the stability of SME in Bangladesh. I think already most of the speaker has said the present situation of SME in this pandemic situation. So Bangladesh SME is also
Mr. Mahmood, I think your camera is off. We are not able to see you.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Yes, yeah. Now we can.
That's the problem. Okay. Thank you very much to allow me to give some opinion about SME in Bangladesh. Already the earlier speaker from Bangladesh told about the SME status, position, future, potentiality, and the support from the government for the SME. I do not want to repeat that again. I just want to say one thing. Bangladesh SME is already affected badly by other SMEs of third world. And Bangladesh is a highly populated country, 17 crore people. And SME is the main engine of our economic development. But the pandemic has made very negative effect in this SME progress. Near about 90% SME is already facing problem to sell their product. The demand of their product has already reduced, near about 90%. Our government is trying to support the SME by giving stimulus package, but due to any process defect, still 80% SME could not get this stimulus facility of stimulus package. But in this situation, I think everybody knows that SME mainly suffers from 2-3 problems. One is access to the finance, another is competition with the large player, and introduction of their product. For this COVID, SME of Bangladesh has already affected from these three sources. Access to the finance, because most of the SME could not sell their product and they are now suffering from huge cash flow. In the meantime, their product could not make competition properly with the product of the large player. So their product is already under negative introduction, and their product are being highly disturbed to be marketed from the large group. And another thing is the open competition. It means SME entrepreneurs are doing their product competition in same market with the large enterprise. I want to say that just now, the main problem is to cash flow crisis of the SME. So all the governments are trying, but through this forum, if this forum can also make some policy, some effort towards the governments of third world to expedite this fund support to the SME to overcome this problem transit basis. If this forum can arrange or think such effort that can convince the government or make some support to the governments to convey the fund support timely to the SME for their temporary survival. It is very important. If it cannot be done, so all the opportunities, all the capacity of SME entrepreneurs in third world may be destroyed. So my special request that that this forum may take any policy, any effort to make their support or their effort to convince or expedite the government, donor agencies, international banks to provide funds, especially under some easy condition to the SME. I think this is the main requirements. If this SME is support like Bangladesh and other third world countries, then this SME can be survived. So in other thing, our government is trying to give some technological support and also some marketing support by many other bodies, but these are giving gradually. This can be improved gradually, but instantly it is very important to arrange any immediate fund flow support to the SME in Bangladesh, like other third world countries. I think today is a day not to talk about the opportunity, potentiality, contribution of the SME in the economy. Everybody knows that. Now, this forum can make overall discussion to make the sudden blood flow to survive the SMEs in Bangladesh, like other third world countries. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mahmood. Okay, okay, I think we are done for the Asia. Over to you, Aparna.
Thank you so much, Jana. I think this is going really awesome. Just a moment. Yes, I think this is really going awesome. We are indeed becoming a global family, I think, right? And that was a really great session from the Asia Pacific region. Thank you so much. Let me express gratitude to all our speakers, Nawaz sir, Sharnalata madam, Mr. Sanko Moin, and Mr. Mahmood Ali for taking some time out of your busy schedule and joining us today. And thank you, Jana, for that wonderful presentation and taking the session forward so beautifully. So we are ready for the next session. Pretty Christina is ready with the UK session. But before that, let me share a good news with you. Good news for all the MSMEs out there. On this auspicious day, we are proud to have India's #1 business news channel owned and operated by the Times Network, ETNow, as our media partner. As they salute India's SMEs, MSMEs, and startups who showed resilience.